And after yesterday's class, it was very overwhelming for me. I really wanted to go out and have my dinner, but I was getting so many WhatsApp messages. I was like, should I reply to everyone or how should I reply? So it was very challenging, but it was a good challenge actually, right? So some of you are mentioning that, Piyush, like, we really like this energy. We really like the environment, the way you are answering and all. So guys, this is who I like to teach. So I like to keep it with fun. I like to keep it lighthearted. Plus, I like to share some pointers about personal development because this I'm a big believer in personal development. Okay, why I feel with a poor mindset we can't achieve anything in our life, but with good mindset, okay, we can achieve very good things. Okay, right? So I would request everyone stay muted. Okay. So, okay, I'll have to mute some of you guys. I understand some of you when you join, you may not remember to mute yourself. Let me do one thing. If I have, okay, mute all upon entry. Okay. Yes. Now it is good. Okay. So now I think everybody should be muted from now. Okay. So guys, if you have any questions, you can either post your query in the chat. You can either raise your hands. Okay. Right. So now we'll start. So I know some of you are seeing me for the first time. So quickly, I can just turn on my camera so that you can actually take a look. Okay, so hi guys. So this is me. I'm Piyush Gupta. So I have around 20 years of overall IT experience. 20? Yes, somewhere near, very close. Okay, so yeah, so I'm basically from North India. I'm from Punjab. Currently, I'm staying in a place called Pune. This is just a temporary assignment, but I'm coming here for. Okay, plus I'm doing this teaching experience for last 15 plus years. I was very afraid of Java. Yes, so coding was something that I was very scared of. But see, I'm a trainer now, so there's a hope for you. Some of you actually message me saying, Piyush, do you really feel मैं coding कर सकता हूँ, मैं coding कर सकती हूँ? So the answer is yes, you can. Okay. So if you have the determination, again, I'm talking from personal development stuff. If you have the determination, rock solid determination, you can do anything, guys. Okay. And one thing I want to tell you, okay, you want to repeat this every single day in your brain. I am getting better. JavaScript is easy. Okay. And I can actually achieve. Okay. So some noise is coming in audio. I'm not sure, Anjani. So I'm sitting in a very quieter place, so there's zero noise from my side. Not sure what's happening. Are you guys also getting some kind of weird sound, weird noise? I'm not sure what's happening here. Hmm. Okay, so not sure what's the issue maybe. So you'll have to just check. Okay, so everybody is confirming they are not hearing any background noise, which is good. Okay, so yesterday we did a simple course walkthrough. So people who are not able to attend yesterday, they can just drop me a WhatsApp and I'll send you the yesterday's recording. Okay, so it was more about introduction. It was more about the course walkthrough. I just gave a basic idea about how to install Playwright. Okay, right. Now we'll talk about a couple of things. So yesterday, okay, I'll share my screen as well. One sec, guys. Hmm. Now I'll turn off my video. Okay. Now look at this. So yesterday we installed Playwright from scratch. Okay. So what did we saw yesterday? We saw how do we install Playwright from scratch. Okay. So we ran this particular command. Okay. So Nishit is asking, can we get the document with installation steps? Oh yes, Nishit. So what I'll do is I'll share it with you. So just drop me a WhatsApp. So I have my number already posted. Okay. So what I would suggest is, I'm not sure why I'm getting this option. Meeting option. Not sure what is happening. But never mind. So you can just drop me a WhatsApp. I'll share with you the installation steps document. Okay, it's a very pretty straightforward installation document. So some of you actually requested me, how do we install Playwright? So let me just tell you quickly. So guys, it's a small recap what we are also doing. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen, guys. Are you not able to see? Rajesh is saying he's not able to see my screen. I just shared my screen. Please confirm me, guys, if you're able to. Yeah, so most of you are able to see, right? So Rajesh, you'll have to check why you're not able to see because most people are saying they are able to. Not sure what's the issue here. Okay, but you can easily see my screen, so that should not be an issue. Okay, right? So I'll share this installation document with you, so which is a very straightforward document. So as per this document, the very first thing that we want to do is we want to install Node.js. Okay, so I'll share this particular screen as well. One sec. Okay, now look at this. Yeah, see here, guys. So this is the document that I was talking about yesterday. Okay, I have mentioned detailed steps about how to install Node.js, how to install VS Code, okay, how to install Playwright. Everything is mentioned here. And once we move on to Playwright, again, we'll talk about all these tests, but that time I'll even show you in detail. Okay, how do we do this? For now, this document is good enough for you. So just go to this document, and if you find any issues, just let me know. Like, I guess Anjani is there. She was facing a couple of issues. So I just helped her and she was able to do it successfully, I believe. Okay, so if you face any issues, just let me know. So this is the document that I was talking about. Now, coming back to Playwright again, how did we install Playwright? So the very first thing is open terminal, but time for a quick quiz. I want to ask people, if you remember, I shared yesterday, how do we open the terminal via a shortcut key? Anyone who remembers it? Anyone? You can raise your hands or you can unmute. Anyone?
Control back
Control L.
Control L is for clearing the terminal, but that's a good try.
backtick.
Very good. Control backtick. Exactly. So control backtick. Okay. So this is how we can actually open the terminal. Quite easy. Okay. So I'll simply press control and backtick. So it's a pretty cool shortcut, guys. Okay. So this is for lazy people. Otherwise, you can simply go to terminal, new terminal. This is more like a hassle to me. Okay. So, and then what did we do? We did npm init playwright @latest. Now, what is npm here? So npm is something which is similar to Maven in Java. Okay, for Java, we have Maven. In JavaScript, we have npm. npm stands for Node Package Manager. Okay, so using npm, we can install any third-party library. Okay, we can install any third-party library. Example, Playwright is a third-party library. Cypress is a third-party library. Selenium for JavaScript is again a third-party library. So for installing any third-party library, we go with npm. Okay, we don't need Node here. The purpose of Node is, this is very important, guys, you should know. Okay, so the purpose of Node.js is to run JavaScript code. That's the only purpose. Just run JavaScript code, but outside the browser. Because within the browser, I don't even need Node.js, because this is something we covered yesterday. Every browser has its own execution engine. So if I want to run JavaScript code in the browser, okay, browsers have their own execution environment. Okay, right? But if I want to run JavaScript outside the browser, I need Node.js. Very important thing. Okay, now I'm trying to run my JavaScript code in VS Code. So this is outside the browser. I need Node.js. So this is more like an engine for running JavaScript. Now, along with Node.js, npm is installed automatically. So npm is a part of Node.js. You can think like this. Stands for Node Package Manager. Purpose of npm is to install third-party libraries. We can call them libraries, we can call them packages, we can call them dependencies. Okay, because you'll hear people talking about libraries or packages or dependencies. They are one and the same thing. Okay, right? Three different terms, but same meaning. Okay, so what are we doing? We are installing Playwright. Do I need Node? Do I need npm? We need npm. I hope you got it. Okay, and then when we install this, okay, we got this option. Do you want to install Playwright? Okay, with TypeScript or JavaScript? So we selected TypeScript, and then it asked me, okay, which is the folder which I want to use to store my test cases. Okay, right? So I selected test by default. So this is the folder, test folder, which is going to contain all my Playwright test cases. Okay, for now, I have a single file. Okay, so every Playwright file which contains the test cases will contain .spec.ts. Okay, so spec is more like a specification file. Okay, we'll talk about this in detail later on. For now, just understand that how many test cases we have. Look at this. One test case, second test case, third test case. Okay, so we have total 3 automation test cases here. Don't worry about the format and the syntax. Everything will cover in detail in Playwright. For that, you need to understand a couple of keywords like async. You need to understand syntax like callbacks, arrow functions, all these things. For now, it won't make much sense, so I'll not explain it right now. Okay, but slowly we'll move on. Okay, so this is my very first test which I want to execute. So yesterday I showed you how to create your very first test case. How to create your very first test case. Okay, so for this we use a command called as page.pause, which acts like a breakpoint. So it instructs Playwright to please pause it, not to stop the test case, just pause the test case so that Playwright inspector window gets opened. Okay, so let me just comment out all these lines. Okay, like some of you mentioned that you wanted this particular thing to make more sense. Now let me do one thing. I'll run this command again. I'll explain you what is npx, all these things. Npx playwright test. By default, just understand this for now. Whenever you want to run playwright test cases, you want to run this command. npx playwright test. We'll break down each and everything in the playwright part. For now, just understand this. Okay, so I'll simply hit enter, but before that I'll have to use double dash headed option, double dash headed. So I'm instructing Playwright, please show me the browser, because by default Playwright tests are run in the headless mode. Okay, headless mode. Headless mode in simple terms means an invisible browser. For now, just understand that we are talking about an invisible browser, but I want to see the browser. Okay, because I want to create a test case from scratch. So I'll simply hit enter. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now what we'll do is I'll show you this part. So if you see here, so browser is open. I also see something called as Playwright Inspector. That is also open. Okay. So Poonam is asking good question. So do we need to run npm init playwright in every project? So if it is a fresh project, yes, if you want to start from scratch. But if you're working in an already existing project in your company, okay, in that case, you don't need to run this. Okay. So you don't need to run this part. Only in a fresh project. Guys, I would request you please stay muted. Okay, so now Rajesh Mohan is asking, how did we open inspector? So Rajesh, look at this part. See, I wrote this line. Guys, I would request you please stay muted. Pooja, please stay muted. Thank you. Okay, so okay, so await page dot pause. What have I done over here? So Rajesh, look at this. Whenever I'll write this line page dot pause, okay, it will force playwright to pause here, not stop, just pause here. Okay, and if I'm running my test in the headed mode, so now I'll see this particular playwright inspector. So this playwright inspector is a very cool tool, especially for beginners, to find out the locators. Like you may be a beginner, you may not understand, okay, how do we inspect locators and all those things, correct? In that case, you have a button, see at the top, this is a pick locator button. What does it do? Just click on this pick locator button and now the inspector window is hidden. Now the focus is on the application. See, as I'm moving my mouse, Playwright is finding every element. Suppose if my requirement is to type something into the text box, just move a mouse. See, Playwright is giving you a very good suggestion. So Playwright is saying this is how this element will be identified. So just click on this and Playwright has suggested you a good way of finding this element. We call them as locators, but don't worry, we'll talk about locators, we'll talk about text box, this everything in detail in Playwright. For now, just understand this is what Playwright is suggesting you. So just copy this part and paste it here. So this is what I pasted here. And if I want to enter something into a text box, just use a method called fill. So this is more like a English. Fill means I want to type something into the text box. What I want to type? I want to type admin. So this is how I'll automate the username field. The next part is I want to type the password and I'm a complete beginner. I don't know how to type. So what should I do? Again, I'll go back to the inspector. Again, I'll click on this particular button. Now I'll move my mouse on the password field. See, now Playwright is again recommending that this is the way to identify the password field. Correct? So just copy this again, go back to your script, use this. Await page dot get by role, whatever Playwright has suggested, just use it blindly for now. And simply use this fill method again. What you want to fill? See, clearly it is telling you this is the username admin in uppercase, password is admin123 in lowercase. Same thing what I'm doing. Username is admin that I'm filling in the text field. Password is admin123 in lowercase again that I'm filling. Correct? So this is what I'm doing. Okay. Now the next part is I want to click on this button. See, as a human, I can clearly see it is a button. Playwright is not human. Playwright knows nothing about this particular button. I need to give this intelligence to Playwright. So what should I do? Okay. So this is something we need to understand. Okay, so again, I'll open the inspector. Again, I click on this pick locator button. See, now I'll move my mouse on the login. Okay, so this is the way what Playwright thinks is the best. So 90% times Playwright gives me a very good locator. Okay, 90% times it gives me a very good suggestion in simple words. Okay, but later on we'll see how not to depend on this tool. Means get so good that you don't even need Playwright Inspector. So as a beginner, feel free to use it. But later on, you don't want to use it. So what should I do? Copy it again, come back, and simply use this. Now on a button, what I want to do, I want to perform a click operation. See, again, it is pretty much English. For typing something, fill username, password on a button. I want to perform a click. Okay, so this is how we created our very first test case. Okay, so some of you actually mentioned that you tried it, like Shikha. She actually tried it. She was able to do it. I'm so glad. Okay, so people who have not tried it, I would suggest just try it. This will give you a lot of confidence how to create your very first test case, even if you know nothing about coding, zero in coding. Okay, so this is how we do it. So now let me stop this. How do I stop it? Control C to forcefully stop everything. Control L will clear the terminal. I'll use the up arrow key. Now I'll hit enter. Let's see whether my test is working fine or not. Let's see. So it is opening. See, it has entered the username and the password, and Playwright is super fast, guys. It is super fast. You didn't even see actually. But there's a way to slow down Playwright. Okay. So, and then page.pause has completely paused my test case. Now Playwright is waiting for me to do something. See, now if I click on this particular button called resume, okay, I'll resume my test case and my test is passed. So this is your very first test case. That's it. So this is how we automate our very first test case, guys. Okay, so even if you understand nothing as of now, don't worry. We'll talk about Playwright in depth. Okay, so Joe is asking, hi Piyush, how do you resolve certificate issues when installing Playwright? So Jyoti, looks like you have a specific issue here. So I would suggest just reach out to me and I'll be helping you. As of now, I'm not sure what type of certificate issues you are getting. So you can drop me a WhatsApp and I'll be able to help you out with this. So Rajesh is asking, it opens automatically. Oh yes, Playwright Inspector opens automatically only when you are doing two things. First thing is you want to write this line. First thing. Very important thing is you also want to add this line without double dash headed. Suppose if I do this, I remove this double dash headed. Let's see what happens. I have page.pause, but I don't have double dash headed. Let me hit enter here. So let's see what happens. So take a look. Let me hit enter. See, this time browser is not going to open up. Why? By default, Playwright is going to run my test in the headless mode. See, my test is passed. No inspector got opened. So just page.pause is not enough. You also want to add double dash headed. I hope you guys are now understand. Some of you said you wanted more clarity. That is why I covered this part today as well. Okay, right? But don't worry. We'll talk about this thing in depth, guys. Okay, how to do all this. Don't worry. We'll talk about this in Playwright. For now, we have to start with JavaScript and we are going to cover from the scratch. We are going to build the foundation now. This is where most people struggle because see, Playwright is just a simple tool. Ultimately, you have to write the code in JavaScript or TypeScript. Okay, so this is something you want to understand. Very, very important thing. Okay, so let us start focusing on JavaScript. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Anything you want to ask me right now? No questions? Okay, so now anyone has faced any issues while installing Node.js and VS Code? So I guess Anjani was able to do it. Others, are you able to install? Just post your message in the chat, guys. So Preeti Shah is saying, where can I find the installation document? So guys, one sec. I'll share this document with you here. But I'm not getting this option only. So why? Oh, meeting group chat. Now I got this option. Okay. So guys, I'm okay. So Jagdish is saying I'm able to install Playwright. Arpita is also saying very good, guys. Okay. So I've shared this document again with you. Ajinkya is also saying very good, Ajinkya. I remember you even sent me a LinkedIn request, Ajinkya. I remember. Okay. So this is the document. I guess most of you are able to access it, correct? So this is the document how to install Playwright, guys. Okay. So, and some more people are saying after installing directly, okay, I think most of the questions are now answered now. Okay, so this is how we install it, guys. Okay, now the first thing is we want to set up the VS Code. Okay, first thing is you want to set up VS Code because if you are installing VS Code for the very first time, you want to set it up. So what should I do? Let me click on this particular button. Okay, which will close the terminal. So I'm basically killing it. I'll close everything here. I'll close this file. Okay, now what should do? Look at this particular icon over here. This icon, extensions icon. You want to click on this extensions icon. Okay, right? So now if you see here, this is the installed section. So if you installed VS Code for the very first time, you will see nothing here. In my case, I have already installed a couple of extensions. That is what it is showing in the installed section. So please note it down, or you can do it right now with me. Okay. So the first extension, this is a mandatory extension that you should install. So the first extension you want to do is Code Runner extension by Junhan. And this is the icon. Code Runner extension by Junhan. In my case, I'm getting the uninstall button. Okay. In your case, you will see the install button in blue. Just click on this install button. And now onwards, you will start seeing this particular play button over here. It's a very handy feature. Okay. So now you can run any JavaScript code just by clicking on this run code button. Okay. Otherwise, without this button, all you have to do is you need to basically do a couple of things. For example, what? You need to go to the terminal, run this command node space file name. You want to run this command. Okay, right? So you will see this particular run code button. So this is the first extension you want to download. Okay, so the second extension you want to download is not these ones. I'll tell you. So the second extension is Live Server by Ritvik Dey. Okay, look at this extension, Live Server by Ritvik Dey. So I'll be sharing some good applications with you for practice. Okay, so there you can launch these applications locally. Okay, so this is for this. And if you see, so many people have downloaded. How many? I think 74 lakhs. Okay, so it's a pretty, you can say, popular extension, guys. Okay, yeah. So the next extension that you want to download is Material Icon Theme. Okay, now if you observe in my VS Code, can you see such nice icons? Some of you might have seen. How come Piyush is getting such nice, colorful icons? Okay, in your case, you might be seeing a very, very basic icons because I'm using a material icon theme. See, this is completely optional, but it beautifies your experience. If you're going to work on VS Code anyway, why not have an enhanced experience? Okay, right? So just use this material icon theme. Okay, so click on the install button. And now after installing, you will see a small pop-up. You will see a small pop-up. So what you want to do is, okay, so what you want to do is just select this option material icon theme, and now you will start seeing such beautiful color icons, such beautiful icons. Okay, so this is what you want to do. This is completely optional, but I would suggest please do it. Please do it. Again, next is open in the default browser. This is the next extension I want you to download, okay, which is by PicChen. Okay, again, it's a very popular extension, and this is something for Playwright. So once you start running your Playwright test cases, okay, so now I'll show you very quickly here. So this is the place where the Playwright report is opened. So because of this extension open in the default browser, let me tell you what is going to happen. So one option is you have to go to the terminal, type some bigger commands, npx playwright show report. Yes, you can type it, but you can make some mistakes also. Even simpler option, just this is the HTML report. Just right click. You will see this option, open in default browser. Why you're getting this option? Because of this extension. Okay, so just click on this open in default browser and see. This is the report, playwright report. Okay, you don't have to remember any command. So it's a, see, these extensions are going to make your life a little easier. That is it. Okay, so again, is this mandatory? The answer is no. It is completely optional, but it is going to make your life a lot easier. Okay, so this is about open in default browser. And then the last extension is Playwright test for VS Code. So this is the extension that you want to download. Why? Because after installing this particular extension, this is the official extension by Microsoft. Okay, so Playwright, in fact, is actually from Microsoft, just like VS Code. So what you want to do is just install this extension, and from now onwards, you will start to see this particular button, this testing button. Okay, so it's a pretty handy button, and you'll see a couple of tests here. So you can run your Playwright test cases from this particular section. Okay, so these are the extensions that I want you to download. Any questions in this part? Please let me know. Any questions in this? No questions? Is everything good? Are you guys able to understand? Just post in the chat if you're able to follow. Let me know. Done? Can you post here the extension names? Oh, yes, Nitya. So, okay, I can post them. So, Rajesh Mon is saying Cove is names. I'm not sure, Rajesh, what you meant by Cove is names. Is it, yes, added extensions. Okay, so Jagdish has actually done. So I would request one of you to just post all the extension names. I don't want to spend time writing the names here, but one of you who can actually post, who has actually installed all these extensions, just post in the meeting group chat. Okay, right? So thank you so much for this. Now, let us start with the JavaScript, guys. So we are done with the JavaScript this VS Code extensions. Now, what we have to do is we have to start from JavaScript. Okay. So the very first thing what we'll do is look at this. So I'll close everything here. Okay. So what should I do? In the same Playwright project, what I'll do is I'll click on this particular button, the second button. The second button is for new folder. So I'm about to create a new folder. Let me call it learn JavaScript. Okay. So within this folder, I'm going to create all the files that I'll be needing here. Okay. So the first file that I'll create is, okay. So just click on the first button. The first button is for new file. Second button is for new folder. So just click on the new file button. Okay. And now give a file name. It can be anything, but make sure that the file should end with .js. .js means it is ending with .javascript. It can be anything. And look at this, such a nice icon, JS in yellow. Without this material icon theme extension, you will see a very basic orange color extension. Not a good one. Okay. So again, this is completely optional, but I would suggest please do it. Okay, so thank you so much. You guys have started posting extensions. Very good, guys. So this is called leadership. Okay, taking charge. Very good, guys. Anjani, Shikha, Arpita. Very good. And of course, Jagdish. Very good. Now we'll start writing JavaScript code, guys. So, so the first thing what we'll do is we'll learn about the primitive types. But wait a sec. I'm using this two forward slashes. What is the meaning of this two forward slashes? Any manual tester who can tell me, even if never coded before? This is something most people actually know. Most people. So I would request not Selenium people who has actually done coding, any non-coder. What is this? Even, okay. Arpita, I think very good. You told me, right? You've never coded before. If you can tell me this is comment, we are in a good stage here. Okay. So most of you are actually mentioning in the correct way. Very good. So this is a comment. What is a comment basically? So using this comment, I'm telling VS Code, please ignore this line. This is not valid JavaScript code. So just ignore this line. That is what I'm telling. Okay, quite simple. Primitive types. Now, what are primitive types in JavaScript? I'll tell you. So basically, see guys, we are surrounded with information, correct? What type of information we have? We have names. For example, I have my name, which is what? This is data, right? Another data, maybe somebody's salary. Say somebody's salary is 1 lakh. Is it 1 lakh? Yeah, 1 lakh. Okay, so this is 1 lakh. We have another data called as true or false. I want to store this data. Okay, I want to store this data. But before storing this data, how about if we categorize them just to make it little better? Okay, how do I categorize this data? Okay, in order for categorizing this data, we have something called as the data types. Okay, data types. What is Piyush? What is Piyush? This is a string. String means group of characters. Okay, like I see some of you, Nitya. Nitya is what? Nithya. Group of characters joined together. We call them as strings. What is this? This is a number. Okay, if you're from Java background, I know you might be used to int, byte, short, so many different data types for numbers. But in JavaScript, we have a single data type, which is number. What is this? This is a number in JavaScript. What is true? So what is true or false? Basically, it is something that can be answered in only yes or no, true or false. Like Indian people, if I'll ask you, is today Sunday night? The answer is yes. For US folks, it is morning, but for us, it is night. Okay. So if I'll ask you, is today Sunday? You will say true. You might say false. There is no maybe here. So any question that can only be answered in true or false is a Boolean value. Okay, so these are called as data types. Okay, so I just gave you a high level idea about the data types. So now let us use the data types in JavaScript. Okay, and we'll be using these comments a lot. Okay, so for practice purpose, you can use as many comments as you feel like. But in real code, in real projects, don't overuse comments. It looks very ugly in the real code. This is only for your understanding for practice. But in real code, please don't use this. Okay, now I'm about to use a different type of a comment. Anyone can tell me again, any person who is not from coding background, what is this? What is this? Please tell me in the chat. I want maximum participation, guys. That is how you'll feel that, yes, we are actually equally participating. Shikha is saying multi-line. Nitya, Anjani, Sindhu, Arpita, very good. So basically, now if you see here, I have written 5 lines here. For every line, I have to add these 2 slashes. This can get a little boring actually. If I'm writing maybe 10 lines of comments, will I add 2 forward slashes with every line? No, not a good idea. What to do? For multiple lines, it is a good idea to use multi-line comment. Okay, so in JavaScript, there are 3 types of comment. One is a single line comment, one is a multi-line comment, a quiz actually for other people. Okay, for everyone now, even coders. There's a third type of comment. If you know it, post in the chat. Let's see if you know. Okay, there's a third type of comment that is called as what? That is called as, I won't tell you. Okay, so just post in the chat. So Deepak is saying REM, not sure what you mean. Okay, so now we'll talk about the data types, guys. So what are the data types in JavaScript? Okay, I would suggest please make good amount of notes. So Venkat is saying triple forward slash. No, not this one. We'll talk about different one. But that's a good try. Good try, Venkat. So the first one is number. Second one is a string. Third one is Boolean. Boolean. Oh, yes. Very good, Poonam. Documentation comment. Okay. So we'll see this documentation comment in the page object model. Okay. Yeah. Very good, Poonam. So these are the most frequently used data types, guys. Number, string, Boolean. Okay. And then there are some more data types. Okay. We don't use them very frequently, but something that we should know. Null, undefined. Okay, so these are the 5 data types in JavaScript. Technically, there are 2 more. Technically, there are 2 more. And what are these 2? We don't use them much, but something that is good to be aware of. Okay, what are these 2 data types? These 2 data types are symbol and picket. So these are used in some exceptional or some rare cases. So we don't use them much. These are the 5 data types. Out of these 5, these are the 3 that are heavily used. Okay, heavily used: number, string, Boolean. So these are the 3 data types. Okay, right. And one option. Oh, I forgot to totally tell you guys. This is very important. Okay, I'll tell you. So most of you who have installed VS Code for the very first time, you might not have set up this option. So you might have observed that as I'm writing the code, am I saving it? Am I getting any white dot here? No, because I have turned on the autosave option. So most people, what they make a mistake is they don't save this, they don't check this option autosave. Now, as you write the code, suppose if you write something like this, console.log, I'll tell you what is console.log and on those things. See, I'm getting a white dot here. What is the meaning of white dot? Quickly tell me, anyone? Meaning of white dot. Post in the chat, post in the chat, post in the chat. What's the meaning of white dot? Unsaved content. Sindhu is saying, Poonam is also saying, Priyanka, very good. So this is unsaved. Okay. So what most people do is now they write some code, they forgot to save because this autosave is not turned on. And now if you try to run the code, you will not see the output. You will not see the desired output. Why? You don't have the autosave functionality. So in VS Code, it's a brilliant functionality. Just make sure you select this option, file autosave. Okay, you want to select this option, autosave. Now this white dot will go away. Now, as you write the code, it will autosave it. Okay, like if you remember, like you might have seen use Google Docs, Google Drive, Excel, and all those things. It is autosave. You don't have to manually save it. Very good feature. Okay, so these are the 5 data types in JavaScript. Okay, so now what we'll do is I was actually okay. Yeah. Any questions till now? Is it clear? No? Okay. So the first data type that we'll study in depth is your numbers. So numbers is one of the most frequently used data types. First one is your numbers. Okay. So what are numbers in JavaScript? JavaScript has one data type, guys. Just one data type called number. Not numbers, it is number. I like number here. Okay. So positive numbers, negative numbers, whole numbers, decimal numbers. Okay. Right. So for example, 10 is a positive number. What is the type? Number. Let's take a negative number, say 130. It's a negative number. Let's take a decimal number. Okay, we also called it as floating point number. Floating point number means it contains decimals. For example, 45.67. What is it? It's a floating point number. Okay, right? So these are the different types of numbers, and they are all categorized into one category called number. Okay, this is one of the primitive types that we are studying right now. Okay, yeah. So this is your numbers. The next thing what we need to understand is, okay, in JavaScript, we have something called as precision. Precision. Okay, so JavaScript, it's like a small limitation of JavaScript that beyond a certain number of digits, JavaScript loses the decimal point. Anyone knows it? If yes, post in the chat. If anyone knows it, post in the chat. Okay, what is the precision for JavaScript? How many decimal points it can actually store? Okay, so I'll show you my browser as well. And now we'll see here. Looks like most people don't know, which is okay. Now look at this. Suppose if I type like this, see, if I'll hit enter now, let's see. Arpita is saying 16. Brilliant, Arpita. Reba is also saying 16. Reba is my past student, so you know it, Reba. Good one. Okay, so JavaScript can store up to 16 decimal places. See, up to 16 decimal places, I can store it. But the moment I try to cross more than 16, so how do I write the same code again? I don't have to start typing again. Just use the up arrow key. Use the up arrow key in console. Use the same up arrow key even in VS Code. Yeah. So if you want to type the previously executed command, see up arrow key, up arrow key, right? You don't have to start typing again. Just use the up arrow key. So last executed command will show here. If you press up arrow key one more time, second last executed command and so on. Correct? So this is how it works. Okay. So now coming back to this. Now what I'll do is I'll use the up arrow key. I'll add one more zero, means I'm actually making it one extra digit, means more than 16 digits, 17 digits. So in this case, what's happening here? See, JavaScript has lost the entire precision. Okay, JavaScript has lost the entire precision. What is happening here? It is giving me 1. I hope you guys are getting. So this is a limitation of JavaScript. Okay, right? So we are allowed to store up to 16 decimal places. So JavaScript is not infinitely precise. Now, I've written a couple of things over here. How do I clear this? How do I clear this? Any shortcut, guys, or any? How do you guys clear this console? Suppose if I write a couple of things here. See, is it looking good? No, it looks very messy. It looks very messy. How do I clear this console? Anyone? Browser console. Okay, let me tell you one quick thing. We have a button here, correct? Can you see? This is a button. This is the first way of clearing the console. Second one. Second one. Anyone who knows it? No? I'll tell you.
Control C.
No, not Control C, but that's a good try. It's not Control C. We have a method called as clear method. Okay, so you have to write clear. Make sure you are using parentheses because we are using the existing function. Using these parentheses, you can use the existing function. You need to understand this part. Okay, yeah. So using the clear method, you can clear the console. See, console is cleared. There is one more way actually. So somebody was saying Control C. There is no Control C. It is actually called as Control L. Control L. How do we do it? Just press Control and L, which is a good shortcut. This is how you clear the console, guys. Okay, this is how we clear the console. Okay, so now let us talk some about a couple of more things. So using this console, you can actually use it as a calculator. Yeah. So maybe I can perform some mathematical operations like this. 100 into 5, 500. You don't even need internet for doing these calculations. Okay. You can turn off your internet. You can try out these options. Okay. Yeah. So this is like a calculator. So you can do as many calculations as you want. Maybe 100 minus 10, 90. You can do multiply, divide. How do you do division in JavaScript? Suppose if you do like this, 50 forward slash. This forward slash is called as the division operator. Okay, multiply, I guess you all know, plus you all know, minus you all know. This is the division operator. So 50 divided by 5 is 10. Okay, right? So this is about the division operator. There is something called as, I want to find out the remainder. Who can tell me this? I want to find out what is the remainder if I try to divide 4 by 2. Anyone who can tell me? Let's try it, guys. Very good. Anjani, Poonam, you are saying percentage. Okay. Now, Anjani and Poonam, can you tell me what is the name of this operator? Yes, you have written correctly. This is the correct operator. How do you call it? Nitya is saying modulus. Okay. There are two names actually. One is modulus. Very good, Nitya. What else? Anyone? So, yes, you rightly mentioned one is modulus. We even call it as, oh, let me comment out because this is not valid JavaScript code. Okay. So how do I write it? It is also called as remainder operator. What is the remainder operator? Percentage sign. Okay, percent sign. So how do we calculate the remainder? And in case if you're wondering, why am I running this code in browser console? Because it is very easy, very quick, quite easy actually. Okay, so what we do is just write the code, simply hit enter. That's it. Okay, right? But in VS Code, if you want to execute something, you want to type, you want to click on this play button, right? So this is more straightforward actually. So anyway, you can try whatever you feel like. Okay, so now what should I do here? Okay, let me tell you. Suppose if I try to divide, let's say 5, okay, percentage 2. How to read this? I'm telling JavaScript, give me the remainder. Give me the remainder if I divide 5 by 2. We all know that it is 1. So can we say that 5 is an odd number because of this? Correct? So 5 is an odd number. Yeah. So this is something you need to understand. Okay. So if you get 0, it means it is an even number. This is how we do it. So mostly percentage sign is actually used to calculate odd and even numbers. I hope you are able to follow. Okay. Yeah. So this is something very important. So guys, we are covering from scratch. I'm assuming you guys are all freshers in JavaScript. You know nothing. Okay. Somebody even with a 20-year experience, I'm also treating you like a fresher in JavaScript. Okay. Yeah. So please don't mind, but this is how the best way of learning is. Okay. So let us keep the egos aside if you think I'm a big shot guy. Okay. So I'm also learning, guys, even at this stage. Okay. So percentages, remainder, or modulus operator. Now, another thing. How do we calculate powers in JavaScript? Anyone who can tell me. Calculate powers. But what do I mean? I want to calculate 2 square, 3 cube, 4 cube. How do I do this? It is very easy. I can do 4 star 4 star 4. But this is not a right way. This is repetition. Not a good way. Very good, guys. So Manisha Venkat Ramkoti, you know this. And this, okay, Shikha, very good. What is this called as? What is this called as? Please tell me. Hmm? The name of this operator, double star. It is called as which type of operator? Anyone? Exponential exponent. Ramkoti is saying exponentiation. That is correct. Ramkoti, very good. So it is called as exponentiation operator. Okay, exponentiation operator. And it is noted by 2 stars. How do I do it? Very easy. Okay, okay, let me run the console this time. So how do I do it? So guys, if you're from Java background, how to print something to the console? We simply use system.out.println. Pretty heavy line. But in JavaScript, if I want to print something, simply use console.log. How to read this? I'm instructing JavaScript, whatever I'm writing within the double quotes, please print it to the console. Like, let me say, hello world. Hello world. Now let me execute this code. How to execute this code? One option is go to the terminal. How to open the terminal? Control backtick. This will open the terminal. Okay. I'm a lazy guy. I will not go to terminal, move my mouse, then click on new terminal. Okay. Now what should I do? NPM. NPM I'll use? No. Do I want to install third-party library? No. I want to run JavaScript. For running JavaScript, we use node command. Node space file name. Node space file name. Is it going to work? Tell me, guys, yes or no. Is it going to work? Post in the chat. What do you think? Very good, Ramkoti. Yes, it is not going to work. Why it is not going to work? Please tell me. Anyone who knows why it is not going to work? Let's see. Let's see. Uncommented code lines. No, nothing to do with uncommented code lines. See, this is not invalid JavaScript. This is also not invalid JavaScript, but JavaScript is doing nothing with this. Am I doing anything with this? No. But the challenge in this code is, let me tell you, I'll hit enter. See, I'm getting this error, cannot find module. What is a module in JavaScript in simple words? Every file in JavaScript is a module. 1.js is a module. So JavaScript is saying, I'm not able to find this file. Which file? 1.js. See, within this particular folder, is 1.js in the root of this folder? No. 1.js is inside learn.js folder. So you have to provide the complete folder path. Control L will clear the terminal. Up arrow key one more time. So before using 1.js, use what? Folder name, learn-js. Then use /. See, now this is the correct path because I'm already in this particular folder, Playwright, Feb, Weekend Batch. See, I'm already inside this. Within this folder, I want to come here. Can I directly come here? No, I want to go to the proper path. Within this folder, I want to come. That is what I'm saying. Within this learn.js folder, I'll do this. Now I hit enter. See, I'm getting the correct output. But again, if you see here, this is more like a hassle again. Okay, it's more like a hassle. Open the terminal, run this command node, then all this. This is more like a hassle. I will never do this. And I never use it actually. Okay, so a more simpler option is what? Just click on this play button. If you remember, guys, I told you, right, to install an extension called CodeRunner, right? This is why we installed this extension, so that I can easily execute any file. So what should I do? Just click on this play button and see, I'm getting this hello world. Now you only tell me, which is better? Would you go to terminal every time, type this node space file name, or simply click on the play button? This is very easy. Okay, one more good option. Let me tell you something. Suppose I have written, say, console.log here. Console.log, I am learning JavaScript. Now, I'll tell you something. So if I go to the terminal, use the up arrow key, if I'll hit enter, it will execute entire file. This is important. If I'll run this, it will execute the entire file. Do I want to execute the entire file? Think about this. Do I want to execute this entire file? The answer is no. But if I'll hit enter, see, it is executing the entire file. But what if I want to run a selected piece of code? Again, code run extension is pretty powerful here. What should I do? Just select only this line. Just select only this line, and now this code run extension will ignore everything else. Now this I am learning JavaScript would not be executed. Okay, how to do this? Just select this line. Just select this line. Now click on the play button. See this hello world. Okay. And guys, one thing I want to share with you. Okay, I'm a naturally fast talker. I usually like to speak at 1.25 to 1.5x. So this is a small problem with me. Okay. So whenever I remember this particular part that, okay, so people might find it difficult. So I have to slow down. So I have to force myself. So in case if you think I'm getting a little fast, please let me know and I'll slow down. So this is a little problem with me. Okay. I'm naturally fast talker. Okay, so this is about how do we execute a particular line. So this is a very cool feature. So 99.9% times, not 99, in fact 100% times, I use this run code option only. I rarely use this terminal option to run your JavaScript code. Okay, this is where we use the node command. npm is for third party, node is for running JavaScript. I hope you understand. Okay, so what next? So we have seen the exponentiation operator. So how do we do it? Very easy. So let me clear this. Control L. I like to use the shortcuts. So 4 double star, then 2. How to read this? 4 square. 4 square is 16. Correct? 4 square is 16. Now 5. Now if I want to use 5 cube, should I use 5 star, 3 star, something? Is that what I should use? No, right? I have to use 2 stars only every time. This is read as 4 to the power 2, 5 to the power 3. Always use 2 stars only, not 3, not 4, not 1. 1 is for multiplication, simple multiplication. 2 means power. Okay, this is how you calculate the powers in JavaScript. Okay, so this is about your powers. The next part is something called as NaN and infinity. We'll talk about this. What is it? Okay, so in JavaScript, we have something weird. Okay, and that is called as NaN. What is NaN? Let me write for you. So, okay, guys, and suppose I'm on extensions tab. I want to go back to the previous tab. Just click on this Explorer button. Look at this Explorer button. And now I'm able to see the folder structure again. Okay, yeah. So what should I do? Now, I'll do this particular part. So NaN, how to use NaN? NaN. So guys, JavaScript is case sensitive. This is something you need to understand. JavaScript is case sensitive. So first N and last N are capitalized. Okay, you cannot write NaN everything in lowercase. And it stands for not a number. Now, when do I get this not a number? Okay, any guesses? When do I get NaN? Tell me guys, anyone? When do we get NaN? This is very common in JavaScript. Hmm? No? I'll tell you. If I try to divide 0 by 0, I get NaN. Okay? 0 by 0 gives NaN. But any non-zero number in the numerator at the top, if I use, suppose if I do 4 by 0, then I get infinity. See, 0 by 0 gives me NaN. But any non-zero number at the top or the numerator will give me infinity. Okay, and in JavaScript, we have something again little weird. We have a negative infinity also. And I was completely stumped actually when I saw this negative infinity for the first time. Okay, because if you go back to the childhood days, we have all learned there is something called as infinity. But negative infinity, very odd, very weird. How do I get negative infinity? Simply do minus 4 by 0, whatever. Okay, and this is something you can understand one thing. See, spaces are completely optional. See, I can write 4 by 0 like this. I can write 4 by 0 like this also without a space. Okay, so using spaces is completely optional. But with a space, your code looks more neat, more clean, and easier to understand. Okay, yeah. So this is what we can do. Okay, and this is your infinity, negative infinity. This is positive infinity. Okay, so this is somewhat odd actually. So this is some weird nature of JavaScript that you want to be used to. Okay, now if you try to divide 1 plus NaN, what should we get? 1 plus NaN will give me NaN. Like we have studied this in again school days, anything multiplied by infinity is infinity. Anything you divide by infinity, infinity. Same in NaN. You add, you multiply, you divide, subtract, whatever. It is always going to give you NaN. Okay, not a number. And surprisingly, it is actually a small bug in JavaScript. This NaN comes under what type? It comes under numbers. Technically, it is not a number. It is more represented like an error, but it actually comes under number only. So NaN is considered as numeric type in JavaScript. So I'm writing these notes for you. Okay, right? So this is how we write NaN, guys. Any questions till now? No? Okay. So, okay, somebody has mentioned, no, okay, no questions. Again, somewhat odd. We have a negative 0 in JavaScript. I don't know why they have done like this. Negative 0. According to me, 0 is a completely neutral one, right? There is no such thing as positive 0, negative 0. But in JavaScript, we have positive and negative zeros. Okay, right? So these are some very high level basics that we have just learned. And moving on, now we'll talk about uh, how do we declare variables? Firstly, what is a variable? Why do I need it? Anyone can tell me what is a variable? Why do I even need it? Anyone? What is a variable? Okay, somebody has mentioned to store some data. Priya saying to declare stores slash memory to store data, to declare something. This is good. I'll tell you guys. Firstly, why do I need a variable? Very important thing you need to understand. Why do I need a variable firstly? Okay, imagine guys, I'm using this. Suppose if I do this, let's say const age equal to 2037 minus 1991, const age 1. So, okay, now if you look at this, now I'm doing one more thing. Const age 2 equal to this minus this. What is happening? Did you notice that I'm using this number couple of times? Is it a good practice? No, it's a very poor practice. If I'm using the same number multiple times, okay, what is happening here? Okay, this is more like a repetition. What if you want to change it? So maybe tomorrow, maybe 1 month down the line, you want to change this number, let's say to 2040. Will you come and change it 10 places, 2 places, or 5 places, wherever you have created? No, right? So what should you do? Better is rather than writing this number directly, store it in a variable and use this variable. Okay, that is why we need a variable, so that it is your code is easier to read, easier to change. Okay, and from maintenance point of view, it is a good way. Okay, so what should I do now? So let's say I'll store const maybe number equal to 2037. Now what I'll do is I'll take this number, and instead of 2037, I'll replace at both the places. I'm not going to tell you this particular trick now. You want to figure this out yourself, but there's a way in VS Code wherein I have multi-cursor. Can you see I have cursor at single line? I'm about to do something in my keyboard. Now you see, there are multi-cursors now. Now if I'll type number, see, I'm able to type in multiple lines. Very cool feature of VS Code. I'll not tell you the shortcut now. Okay, I'll tell you the shortcut, and I think 1 or 2 classes from now. This is very cool shortcut. This is why we use variables. Okay, so that I don't have to write the same number every time or same data every time, just to make your code more readable. Okay, now let's talk about declaration part. Most people get it wrong actually. Most people get it wrong. When I say what is the real meaning of variable declaration, most people say I am creating a variable and storing some data. That is not variable declaration. That is not variable declaration. Even Selenium folks mostly tell me this. Create a variable, store some data into that variable. Is that variable declaration? No, that is just one part of it. That is not truly variable declaration. Anyone here can tell me what is the real meaning of variable declaration? When I saying variable is like a container to store the data in computer memory. Very good one. Very good, Vinay. Poonam is saying declaring the data type. Okay. So Vinay, you are almost there. Very good. Okay. So what is variable declaration? Let us see the syntax first. Assign some value means declaration. No, Vinay. Assigning value is not declaration. Assigning value is something else. Okay. That is not declaration. Okay. We'll talk about this part. Okay. So what should we do? Now I'll tell you. What is variable declaration? What is the syntax? Let's see. So this is the syntax, guys. Let some variable name equal to some value. This is the syntax. Okay. And we use it all the time. Okay. So in JavaScript, there are three ways of creating a variable. Okay. Three ways of creating a variable. One is let, one is const, one is var. Let, const, var. Var is something we never use. Never ever use var. And I'll write for you. Never ever use var. This is also a very important interview question. What is the difference between let, const, and var? Okay. Sometimes they ask you indirectly why we should never use var. Okay. They might ask you this question indirectly. Okay. Yeah. Why we should never use var. So we'll only use let and const. We will never use var. Okay. What is the reason? We will learn this in advanced, intermediate to advanced JavaScript. So it doesn't make sense right now. Okay. So we'll talk about this. Okay. So how do we do this? Let some variable equal to some value. So let me take an example. Let number equal to 10. Now, why am I getting this error? I have already created this previously. So let me use one thing. Let me create num. Let num equal to 10. What is happening? Two things are happening in this case. Anyone? Two things are happening in this case. Anyone can tell me what are the two things that are happening in this one line? Guys, I'll make sure your concepts are clear.
Declaration and assignment.
Very good, Nishit. Declaration and assignment. What is the real meaning of declaration? Real meaning of declaration. What you said is correct. Absolutely. We are doing declaration. We are also doing assignment. What
We
is
are
the real meaning of
declaring num. We are declaring num
Okay.
variable and
Okay.
assigning value 10 to number variable num.
Okay. We can make it slightly better, Nishit, but that's a good try. Good try.
I think what kind of data type the memory will have.
Okay. Not really, actually. I'll tell you. Okay. So let num equal to 10. Let's see some of your posts in the chat. Variable num is created, value of 10 is stored into it. Ramkoti, that is fine. But there is one big thing that we are missing. Anjani is saying declaring num as integer variable and storing value. Oh, this is something. See, this is a big disconnect actually. Most people don't know this part. Okay. Okay. So this is what we'll understand. What is the real meaning of declaration and assignment? Okay. I'll tell you. So here, what is the real meaning of declaration? I'll show you in the whiteboard. Your concept should be very much clear. Look at this. What's happening? Imagine, guys, this is your memory location. Okay. Imagine this is your memory. So why it is not drawing? Let me, okay, write like this. Okay. So this is my memory. So what is happening really? I'm saying reserve a memory location. Declaration means what? Declaration means reserve. Okay. Reserve or create a new memory location. That is what I mean. That is called as declaration. Nobody mentioned this part. Okay. Declaration means reserve or create a new memory location. Okay. Create a new memory location. And what do we do with this memory location? So firstly, if this is my entire memory, I'll create a small block. I'll create a container in the memory. What is the name of this container? Name of this container is called num. What you call it as a variable, that is fine. This is variable. Okay. But what is really happening? What is really happening? Let me tell you. Okay. So the name of this container is called as num. Name of this container is called num. Okay. Yeah. What is this? This is num. What is the value of this container? 10. So inside this container, I'm storing a value called 10. This is the real meaning of variable declaration. This is the real meaning. Okay. Most people told what? Just create a variable, store this value. But nobody mentioned about the memory part. Okay. This is something you want to understand, guys. So this is the difference between superficial knowledge versus deep knowledge. Okay. Right. So this is the deep meaning here. So I'm reserving a new memory location. The name of the memory location is called num. Inside this memory location, I'm storing this value called 10. That is the real meaning of variable declaration. So we are declaring means we are reserving some space in the memory. We call it as 10. Okay. We call this memory location, sorry, not 10. We call this memory location as num. On this memory location, we are storing the value as 10. Okay. So we are storing the value of 10 in this memory location. That's what's happening here. I hope you are understanding. Okay. This is what we do. This is the real meaning of declaration plus assignment. Okay. And what is this equal to here? Equal to is called as assignment operator. Equal to, this equal to is called as assignment operator. And how does this assignment happens? Assignment happens from right hand side to left hand side. Assignment happens from right hand side to left hand side. What does this mean? It simply means I'm taking this value 10, which is on the right, and storing in the memory location, which is called as num. That is exactly what we did. Create a memory location, call it num, and put this value 10 inside this memory. That is called as creating a variable or reserving a memory location. Any questions in this, please ask me. This is very important. Throughout this course, we'll talk about creating multiple variables. But if this concept is not clear, it's not good. Please let me know if you have any questions. No? Is it fine? So declaration is like assign new memory location. Yes, Vinay, exactly. Yeah. I'm creating a new memory location. But ultimately, see, if I create a memory location, but if I don't give a name, how do I use this memory location? Correct? In that case, I need to give a name. Imagine I don't have a name. How do you call me? My name is Piyush, right? Using my name, you can talk to me. Using your name, I can talk to you, Vinay. Correct? So how do I talk to this memory location? By giving it a name. We call it num. So Asha is asking what is let. Let is a simple way of declaring a non-constant. Okay, let is how we tell JavaScript, please reserve a new memory location. Let means please reserve a new memory location, call it num, and inside this memory location, store this value of 10. Okay, this is called as this. Any questions? Okay. So guys, I'm being very slow now because this is very important topic. So guys, if you have any questions without any hesitation, feel free to ask me. Anyone has any more questions? Very, very important part. This is called variable declaration. And guys, I'll be giving you very good amount of assignments. So if you'll practice all these assignments, if you'll write each and every code what we are covering, you will get good. You will get good. You have no other option actually. Okay, right? So this is how it is. So some more questions. Can we change the value of a variable? Yes, Anjani, we'll talk about this. Okay, so if I create a variable using let, of course I can change it because this is not a constant. So Anjani is asking a very good question. Can I change the value? Yes. How to do it? Simply do num equal to 15. Now, second time onwards, if you are using the variable name, okay, you simply use this variable name equal to this. You don't use let again. Because if you try to use let again, now VS Code will complain. You are not allowed to redeclare because you've already declared once. Why do you want to redeclare again? This is not allowed. This is not allowed actually. Okay, what is the meaning of this? I'm saying take the memory location num, whatever is the value, throw it out and put this new value 15. So what am I doing here? So I'm saying remove this value 10 and now add another value called as 15. That is what I'm doing. Oh, let me just type it. Without mouse, sometimes it becomes very challenging to use Mac. So this is what is happening. Okay, so I'm removing this value 10. And what am I doing? I'm simply changing this value called 15. That is what is happening here. Okay, so this is what. Any more questions? No? I hope you guys are getting very good. Okay, so now let's move on. So, and notice that you might have seen I'm using this something called as num. What is this? This is called as lower camel casing. Lower camel casing. And I'll tell you what is the meaning of this. Lower camel case. What is the meaning of lower camel case? Look at this. If I have three words, sum is one word. variable is another word, name is another word. Okay, technically I'm not allowed to use a space in the variable name. Okay, using spaces is not allowed in JavaScript. Correct? So what should I do here? Okay, spaces are not allowed. So what should I do? Remove the space and capitalize the second character of the first character of the second word. So the first character of first word stays lowercase only. First character of second word will be capitalized. First character of the third word, if at all it is there, will be capitalized. This is called as lower camel casing. Why? For readability. For readability. Some of you are from Python background. In Python, what do we do? If I want to do the same thing in Python, I'll use a variable name like this. Some underscore variable underscore name, and we lowercase it. This is the convention in Python. We call it as snake casing in Python. I'm not teaching you Python. I'm just telling you. Okay. This is called snake casing in Python. But in Java and JavaScript both, we don't use this. We use this convention. Okay. Lower camel casing. This is important to understand. Okay. And variable name should be descriptive, guys. Very important. Never create a variable name like let x equal to 10. It's a very poorly written name. Nobody can understand the meaning of this. So never use a variable like x or y or a or b. Why? Nobody can understand what is x. Today you might remember, maybe 1 month down the line, you yourself will not remember only. And you start cursing yourself. Why did I create such a horrible name? Okay. So never create a variable name like x or y. Give a meaningful name. Anyone can understand the purpose, the intent behind this variable. Okay. Yeah. So, and then we'll talk about some unary operators. Now, if I want to change the value by 1, okay, how do I do it? I'll tell you. So instead of using num as 15, let me do one thing. I'll do like this. Num equal to num plus 10. What is the meaning of this line? Anyone can tell me? At least try. Num equal to num plus 10. What is happening here? Let's see who gets it right. Tell me, guys. Tell me.
We're adding 10 to number and assigning to num.
Okay. Good one, Nishit. Very good one. So some of you are also mentioning, Shikha is saying whatever is num, just add 10 more to it. Very good. Rupa is saying assign a new value, 10 plus 10, 20. Arpita 20, Sindhu 20. Very good. So now what is happening? This is called as assignment or reassignment. Reassign. Reassign means this variable, this memory location is already there. It already has a value. What is the value? It is 10 now. So here I'll change it back. So currently I'm having num as 10. What is happening now? I'm saying take the current value of num memory location. What is the current value of num memory location? It's 10. Add 10 to it and store it back into num. Okay. Store it back into num. Okay. So now, can you tell me the difference between this line versus this line? Who can tell me? Num equal to num plus 10 versus num plus 10. This is very interesting. Who can tell me? There's a big difference between line 55 versus 57.
Yeah, we are just adding, we are not allocating to the new variable.
Oh, yes, Amit, very good. So in this case, I'm simply adding this 10 to number, correct? I'm not assigning it back. So in the memory, num is still 10 only. Okay, right? I'm simply adding 10. That's it. But in this case, I'm adding and I'm also storing it back into num. So now in this case, I'm changing this 10 to 20 in the first case. So now in this case, it is no longer 10, it's 20 now in this case. This is called as reassign. Okay, so there's a big difference between this versus this. Okay, now there's a way to shorten this code. There's a way to shorten this code. And how do we shorten it? So now look at this. This is not good, guys. This is not good. Why? The problem in this code is what? It is not at all good. The problem in this case is I have the same variable name on the left, same variable on the right. Not a good thing. Why? Because it is more like a repetition, duplication, not a good way. So if you have the same variable on the left, same variable on the right, what do? We join the plus and the equal to together. So this is a shortcut. It is there in most programming languages. So what do? We join plus and equal to together and we do num plus equal to 10. This is what we use. Okay, how to read this? Take the current value of num, add 10 to it and store it back because of this equal to, because of this assignment operator equal to, whatever operation I'm doing, store it back into num. Okay, so this is a shortcut instead of doing this. So technically this and this is exactly same, but this is a very convenient shortcut. Okay, and in real projects, we use this. We never use this. This looks more like an immature code. As a beginner, it's okay to use it, but you don't want to stay like a beginner, right? So you want to use this piece of code. This is a very convenient shortcut, guys. Okay, so I hope you are able to follow. Okay, so this is one syntax. Okay, so this is how we do. Okay, so instead of doing this, there is one more thing actually. So if you want to increment by 1, let's say rather than incrementing by 10, let me increment by 1. Okay, increment by 1. So now what is the current value of new value of num? The new value of num is no longer 20, it is actually 11 now. Okay, because I'm incrementing by 1. Okay, now there's one more way. And what is that new way? That is num plus plus. This is even more simpler actually. Num plus plus means just increment by 1. I'm not even telling by how much. This is always incrementing by 1. Always increment by 1. So what is the value of num now? It should be 11. Okay, you can either do this, you can either do this. And this is called as a unary operator. Okay, this is called as unary operator. So look at this. So plus plus is unary operator, while plus is a binary operator. Whenever I say binary, binary means 2. Unary means 1. Okay, why it is called unary? Again, most people don't know this part. Unary means 1. Binary means 2. How it is 2? Let me tell you. Look at this. Plus is an operator, right? Num is an operand. 1 is an operand. Okay, let me write here. It is easy. 1 plus 2. See, plus is an operator. What is 1 and 2? 1 and 2 are operands. Okay, and plus is an operator. So now look at this. On the left of plus, we have one operand. On the right of plus, we have another operand. So is it a unary operator? Is it a binary operator? Simple question. I hope you understand. What is this now? Is it a unary? Is it a binary? It is binary. Very good. This is binary. Okay. Why? It has one operand on the left, one operand on the right. So there are two operands. That is why plus is a binary operator. Yes, it is an addition operator, correct. But in addition to being an addition operator, it is also a binary operator. Now, coming to this part, num plus plus. Here, plus plus is what? It is a unary operator. Why? With the same logic, look at this. We have only one operand on the left. Or we have something like this, plus plus num. Same thing. Now we have only one operand on the right, no operand on the left. Okay. So in this case, how many operands we have? Only one. So it is called as unary operator. Unary operator means 1. That is what it means. Any questions? Let me know. Any questions, guys? This is called unary versus binary. I hope you are following, guys. Okay. You have to follow because this is very easy. Okay. Right. So I guess you are following. Very good. So this is called as unary versus binary. Similarly, there are some more examples, something called as maybe num minus minus, or we can also do minus minus num. Same concept. Instead of addition, you are subtracting. Okay, this is what? Again, unary, which is on the right. Again, unary, which is on the left. And we'll talk about these differences later on. Okay, so this is called as what? Unary operator. Okay, and one last thing for today, and that is your const. What is const? Okay, const means you are trying to declare a constant. Okay, you are trying to declare a constant. Why do I need to declare a constant? Simple example. Okay, your height, your weight. Is it something that might change? Weight might change. Okay, so but this is more like a constant. Okay, it's more like a constant. Another example, value of pi. Go back to your childhood days. Remember the pi value in circle? Okay, if you want to calculate the area of a circle, pi r square. Circumference of a circle, 2 pi r. The value of pi is constant. Okay, so how do you declare pi? Is this how you declare pi? Tell me, is it correct or incorrect? 3.1416. Let me know, guys. Is it correct? Correct way of doing it? Yes or no? Let's see. Tell me. Very good, Rupa. So Ramkoti is giving the number. Sindhu is saying no. Yes. What should I do in this case? Yeah, very good. So you guys have understood, right? So when a value is constant, when the value is not supposed to change, okay, simply use const here. Now, is it mandatory to use constant? The idea is no, but it's a good idea to use a constant. Why? You try to restrict the variables as much as possible. Because if you keep it let, maybe accidentally somebody might change this value later on. Okay. But if you keep it const, nobody is allowed to change it. So even if somebody accidentally tried to change this value to, let's say, pi equal to 15 or 10. Now, is VS Code or JavaScript giving an error? No. But if you run this code, let's see the output. So I'll select only these two lines and click on the play button. Let's see. I'm clearly getting this error. So JavaScript is yelling at me saying, hey, what are you doing? Not correct. Assignment to constant variable. So pi is a constant. You are not allowed to change a constant. So always use const. Okay. Some another use cases of const. Okay. Right. Your birth year, my birth year. Okay. So what is this? Again, this is a constant birth year. Let's say birth year is 1991. I wish this was my real birth year. So, okay. And this is lower camel casing. Now, see, your birth year, is it supposed to change? No. Is my birth year supposed to change? No. But what about your salary? Suppose my salary is Indian rupees, maybe 50,000. Indian rupees 50,000. Okay, so should it be const? Should it be let? Should it be const? Should it be let? You guys tell me. Arpita is saying let. There's a big problem if it is const. Think about this, guys. I know you all must be laughing, right? Your salary should never be const. Big problem. Okay, you want your salary to be let, not const, right? You want your salary to increase, right? Every time. Okay. So I hope you guys have understood now what is let versus const. Okay. Right. So this is about your const, guys. Very easy. So as a rule of thumb, use const as much as possible. As a rule of thumb, use const as much as possible. Only use let, not few. Only use let whenever you are absolutely sure. When you are absolutely sure the variable will change. Okay, that's what it is happening. Okay, so your first choice is const, but if you are sure that variable will change, then use this, then use it. Okay, right? This is about your let versus const. I hope you guys are understanding. Let me give you some more real use cases. Pi, we have already seen. Okay, and very important thing is pi is not just a normal constant. This is a universal constant. See, your birth year, my birth year is not a universal constant. It is constant for you. My birth year is constant for me. But pi is not just a normal constant. It's a universal constant. So for universal constant, we completely capitalize it like this. Okay, we completely capitalize it. Okay, right? So this is called universal constant. And universal constant, see, these are some rules of JavaScript what we are learning. Okay, so universal constants are completely capitalized. Okay, so anyone who sees this particular constant can clearly understand, okay, this is not a variable, it's a universal constant. Okay, right? Anyone who looks at this, they can understand this is a variable or a constant, but this is a universal constant. Okay, so these are some rules you need to follow. Another example, very easy. Let me close this terminal. So const days in week. See, the number of days in a week, is it going to be changed? No, right? We all know that whether it is India, US, any country, the number of days in a week is always 7. Should it be let? Should it be const? Simple question. It should only be const. Correct? Yeah, very good, Jagdish. Okay, right? So this is what is happening here. This is like a universal constant. So technically, I can do like this. Okay, number of days in week. So days in week, something like this. A universal constant. Okay, and to make it even readable, now we can even use underscore also. Now it is looking more readable. Think about this. Without underscore, it's looking better, or with underscore? I think it's no brainer. We all can see it is looking more better. Okay, so we can use underscores. So there's no hard and fast rule here. Okay, right? So this is called universal constants. And var is something, technically we can use var also. I can use like this, var maybe trip distance equal to 5 miles or 5 kilometers. Technically this is allowed, but it's a big issue. You are not allowed to use var. Not allowed as in it's not a good practice. Never use var. So var is basically older or legacy JavaScript. So var comes under old legacy JavaScript. Okay, so starting from 2015, So there was a big change in JavaScript that happened in 2015. That change is called as ES 2015 or ES6. That version is called as ES6. So classes and objects, all those modern syntax that we'll be covering in this course. So they all come under ES 2015 or ES6. But this var variable is there in JavaScript since 1990s. Yeah, JavaScript is very old, starting from early 1990s when Java was also launched. So both Java and JavaScript were launched in the early 90s only. Okay, so var is from very, very older times. But this let and const are all modern JavaScript. So they are all introduced after 2015. So let and const we have to use. Var is, it's not just because of legacy. It has some real issues. We'll talk about this later on. Okay, so we should never use this thing. Okay, so I think we are good for today, guys. So this was supposed to be a shorter class. So from next Saturday onwards, we'll have a full-fledged class actually. So 2 hours each, Saturday and Sunday. So this is just more like a demo so that to give most of you, okay, a good idea about the teaching style, whether you are comfortable with the teaching and all those things. Okay. So I think we have covered good topics today. And I'm really happy to see the engagement. Most people are replying. So this is how the classes are going to look like. It is going to be very boring if I'm just talking. And I expect you guys to equally engage. Okay. Because I'm not teaching you. We are studying together. That's the core idea, guys. We are studying together. Okay. Yeah. Now, please ask me questions. I'm opening up for questions now. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Let me unshare. You can raise your hands. You can post in the chat. If you have anything, you can ask me. You can even unmute. Whatever works for you. But one by one. Otherwise, two people talking, very difficult. No questions? So Shika is asking, will you give some practice questions based on types? Oh, yes. I'll be giving you assignments after every topic. Okay, right? So, yeah. Ajinkya is asking, does begin, object, and symbol also fall under primitive types? Okay, very good question, Ajinkya. So object is not a primitive type. Object comes under reference types. Only begin and symbol forms under primitive types. So object and arrays, they fall under reference types, pointers concept. So this is somewhat tricky topic, but we'll talk about this in detail. Once we'll start with arrays and objects, we'll talk about what are arrays, how they are pointers, okay, how they are reference types. We'll talk about these things. Okay. Any more questions? Why console is showing null as object? Console is showing null as object. I didn't get that. Okay. Yeah, so these are some issues. We'll talk about this. So as we'll progress. So as of now, we have not discussed null yet. So we'll talk about null and undefined in detail. Okay. So we'll dedicatedly talk about null and undefined. There we'll talk about this, Ajinkya. Any other questions? So we are going in a very structured manner. Okay. So if you'll ask me questions directly on classes, I can answer, but okay, but we'll understand. We'll go step by step. Some people are saying, thanks, Piyush, for a wonderful session. Thank you so much, Ajinkya. I'm just trying to keep it more interactive. You guys should see, I can keep it boring also. Why to keep it boring? Anyway, we are going to learn, right? Why not have some fun as well? Okay, right? So Priya is saying, thank you so much for the wonderful session. Thank you so much, Priya. God bless you all. Happy learning. I'm there to guide and mentor you. So this is more like a mentorship program. Okay, so guys, today is Sunday. So this is one thing I teach all my students. So every Sunday night, what I do is I'm just sharing you my ritual. Whether to choose or not is your call actually. Okay, quickly I'll share my screen. Quickly I'll share. So this, if this is one habit, if you if you apply into your life, it can work wonders for you. Okay, so every Sunday night I set my activity goals for the week, for the coming week. What can be the activity goals, right? So I'll tell you, one of the activity goals is, okay, so in the entire week, what all things I'm going to do. Okay, for example, one of my activity goals is 30 minutes of learning no matter what. This is a non-negotiable for me. This is one of the activity goals. Okay, right? So one thing is 30 minutes of learning. Another is 10,000 steps for me. And I write this down and I put it on a paper and I paste it somewhere. Okay. Or in the worst case, if you don't want to do this, you can put it in your WhatsApp chat or somewhere where you should see every day, 10,000 steps every day. Why? If you are able to see something every single day, it will remind you, it will force you, guy, get up, move your butt, do something. You want to stay healthy. Okay. Right? Because guys, most of the times you're sitting in the office for 10 to 12 hours, even if you're doing work from home. Okay. So move your butt. Okay. You don't want to be older. Okay. Right. Some people say I can die for my family. I don't believe in that nonsense. I believe in can I be healthy for my family? Can I be a role model for my family? I would rather be a role model. Okay. Right. I would rather be a role model for my family. So it can be anything. One next is personal development. Make sure I'll read. When I'm walking, I make sure I do personal development. What is personal development? I read some good books. One of the good books that I want to recommend, which most people give me a brilliant feedback, is Atomic Habits. How come my habits are so much in place? Why I don't believe in this new resolution BS? Because I don't believe in that nonsense. I believe in doing something good every single day, which is called as Atomic Habits by James Clear. Wonderful book. Wonderful book. Okay, yes, technical things are good, but guys, very important thing is, okay, technical things will help you only when your mindset is good. With a poor mindset, nothing can help. Okay, right? So if your mindset is good, you will become a magnet for powerful opportunities. Yes, I get so many good opportunities because I keep on telling myself, I'm good, I'm smart, I'm attracting good opportunities. I believe in abundance, not scarcity. I believe in sharing my knowledge. Some people don't share. Why? They think most people will surpass them. That is scarcity mindset. That is nonsense. Okay, believe in abundance. Sorry guys for this philosophical talk, but some of you really want it. Push-ups, I missed it. Oh yes. I don't want to bore people by I'm just giving a good idea of what are the activity goals. Okay, you can do whatever you feel like, but make sure you see them every single day. These are my activity goals. You don't have to copy them. You do as per your schedule, your convenience, but make sure whatever you write, do it. Okay, right? This will get your life into action, guys. Without goals, we are going nowhere. It is like we are running in the football pitch, but going nowhere. Okay, so please do set some activity goals. Your life would change completely, guys. Okay, right? So these are the mindset tips that I'll share throughout this particular. I'll make sure I rewire your brain, guys. Just give me 1 to 2 months. I'll rewire your brain completely. Okay, right. So with this, I want to stop now. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. So thank you so much, Shikha.
Can you send the URL of the test that we did yesterday? Yes.
URL of the test. Okay.
Login website.
Orange HRM.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. 1 sec. I'll share this Orange HRM website. So I'll copy. I'll post in the chat. Okay. Zoom is not allowed to download. How do I download the video recordings? So Ajinkya, because of security reasons, we don't let people to download because why people unnecessarily share with their family and friends. We don't want all that. Honestly, I don't want this. I have told them, so we should never share this with others. Simple as that. Okay, right? So this is the link for this. Okay, so you're only allowed.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so you're only allowed to see this particular videos from your registered email IDs. Just to keep the content safe, guys. I hope you understand. I'm putting in a lot of effort. I don't want people to share it just like that. There are always some people who do it. Whether some people say, no, I won't do it, but let's keep it like this. Thanks for the motivated session. Pooja saying, oh, thank you so much. Sometimes I feel I'm in the wrong profession, actually. I should be something else. When I started my YouTube channel a couple of years back, I started talking about all these things. But then eventually I got sidetracked. I am also a human, guys. I also make mistakes. Okay. So we'll also talk about some interview tips also throughout this particular course. We'll talk about a lot of good stuff. I'm sure I'll keep you engaged. You will have a great ball of a time in this course. So guys, if you have decided, if you really like the energy, if you really like the teaching style, if you feel I can really act like a good mentor for you, okay, in that case, you can drop me a WhatsApp, okay, and I can help you with the enrollment part. So I'm just dropping my WhatsApp number, 7738532684. Whosoever has decided, a lot of people have enrolled yesterday only, right? So thank you so much. But some people like who wanted one more class to decide whether it's a good for you or not. So this is my WhatsApp number. I just shared in the meeting chat. Drop me a WhatsApp. I'll ask the team to reach out to you. Okay. Yeah. So that's it for today. If you have more questions, you can reach out to me. But somehow I feel like I'm also very excited, even though I'm teaching this probably for the maybe 500th time JavaScript, but every time when I'm teaching, looks like I'm always learning something new. Okay, because teaching to new people, teaching especially new people, is very exciting one. And guys, do connect with me on LinkedIn if you want. Okay, I'm very active on LinkedIn. Okay, and LinkedIn is a gold mine. I'll tell you, LinkedIn is a gold mine for opportunities. Yes, so Pooja is saying I'm a beginner for all this. No worry, Pooja. After this class, I'll make sure you will never be able to say yourself as a beginner. Yeah, it's a good thing to be. Okay, so if you attend the classes regularly, if you practice thoroughly, I'll make sure you will never say that I'm a beginner. Same updated LinkedIn after 8 years. That's okay, Shikha, no problem. See, what you have done in the past doesn't matter. The point is what you're doing from today. That is called as a positive mindset. You don't care about what you have done in the past. Heck with it. From now onwards, life is in my control and I can choose to do the good things. Again, I'm very, very active on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a gold mine. So we get a lot of opportunities. I get so many teaching assignments, so many students from LinkedIn, just being regular active on LinkedIn. Plus job opportunities, unlimited job opportunities. Okay. Yeah. So if you have any question regarding LinkedIn, jobs, or anything, if you need a special career guidance or something, you can reach out to me. I can definitely help you out. Okay, so anything else is remaining? Let's see. Okay. And guys, very important thing is attitude is everything. Okay, attitude is everything. Okay, so if you have a positive attitude, it doesn't matter even if you are laid off. Because with a good attitude, you can get some good opportunities in no time. Any overview on path settings for variables during installation? So Anjani, it is not required actually, because whenever you install Node.js, it automatically sets the path variables. But if you still want to set the path yourself manually, what I would suggest is go see that particular document that I've shared with you. Okay. Yeah. So in that document, I've clearly mentioned the path. Okay. So we have covered JavaScript basics. We have covered a couple of things. Okay. And always tell yourself every single day JavaScript is easy, especially new people. Document one more time. Oh, yes, absolutely. I'll share it. So copy. So this is the document I'll share. And if you still get more questions, guys, okay, because today is the last class for this week. Now we'll meet on next Saturday, actually. Okay, so Saturday and Sunday, okay, 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. plus. Okay, so I'm shared the document. And if you still have more questions, you can post in the group, post as a personal chat or something, whatever. Like some people have started calling me Guruji and I really like it. But the thing is, guys, I'm also learning actually. Okay, I also have a lot of mentors. I'm still learning every single day. Do we get any errors if we don't set any path variables? No, you don't get, because whenever you install this Node.js, it automatically sets the path. You don't have to do it manually. But in case if you want to do, so the steps are mentioned in that document that I just shared. Oh, so Anjani, you are the one, right, who was trying to install. Yeah. So I think everything is done for you, I guess. Node.js and VS Code. Okay, so I guess there are no more questions. No, not completed fully. If you still have any doubts, Anjani, no problem. Just reach out to me, okay? And I'll be able to help you. Okay, so
If you have a couple of minutes, I'm just trying to execute the first test views, or
yes.
maybe offline if you can take it.
Yes, Nishit.
Should I
You
share
want
my screen?
Okay, you want to share your screen. Okay, so what we can do is if there are no more questions, so we can stop the recording as well. And guys, you can drop off if you want. Okay, so and if you have decided to join, just drop me a WhatsApp and I'll ask the team to reach out to you. Okay, so I'm stopping the recording now. And so Nishit has some queries and I'll be helping him with those queries. So let me stop it. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. So, okay, I'm really glad you all joined. So thank you so much and giving me this opportunity to guide and mentor. So we'll be studying good things together. So stopping the recording. Thank you so much again, guys.